Started, of course, they're not going to see or hear anything for 2 minutes, but continue on.
Okay,
Okay.
sounds good. So now
Dive
we're on a
Brig.
yeah, dive brig. It's gonna be crazy. So here's what dive brig is, right? A lot of people think that dive brig is all about. Wait, am I supposed to be inviting this person? Hold on. Oh, here they are. They joined. Um, so yeah. Since victory is back, you don't get to know what dive brig is about right now. But
No, the
we're gonna get
mystery.
back to the game, and yeah, the mystery. We'll talk about it like between the rounds. Okay.
All right, looks like we might
Uh,
be ready again.
I only see 4.
Oh yeah.
I might.
Yeah, they'll get back. They join. So as soon
Oh,
as you restart, or as soon as you start game, they will be in.
oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah, but okay. PK Masters at R.
Heck yeah. All
Okay.
right, we're back in it.
We're back
And
in it. It looks like
oh my
Clappers immediately in it. As suspected, they're gonna tire. But they lose. Chaotic, and that's actually huge. If they can just dodge the tire, if they can kill the tire here, that's honestly, that's fine. That's not like a 5K tire or anything. So they can walk into this 4v4 here. Although look at that res. The res is huge on Kirith.
barely managing
insane.
to survive that res. That was clutch from Shiny Umbreon. The Mercy movement. That's the kind of Mercy movement you can expect from 840 hours right there, baby. That's what we like
840.
to see.
Oh
Yeah,
God.
Clappers immediately charge in, just like we thought with the Ramatra and then the Tire. Now, interestingly enough, though, Ramatra didn't use Annihilation there, so we will still have that online for this fight. So that they'll hopefully be able to make some use out of that. Watch JoJo, too, with this Overclock.
It's gonna be crazy here. Like, okay, here we go. Chaotic is gonna pull out the Annihilation, and it's a pretty deep in there. Like, he didn't just like do it at the choke point. He got in deep, and then he popped the Annihilation, and that's gonna hit a lot of people. That's gonna be tough to play around. And here, as you can see, the space is super in favor of Clappers. They're easily gonna be able to cap this point without even having to win the fight, really. And now they're just kind of shoving AC Roos back in towards their spawn, and they're gonna force them to like gather the cooldowns to come back. And here, look at JoJo the boss. Now pulling out the overclock and just keeping them back further. They can't really give the point back. They can't really lose another fight. And so really they're just gonna have to keep the pressure on from here forward. But eventually they do have to win a fight.
See a nice headshot right there. 2 headshots, one onto PK Master and one onto Platty there. It was looking like a bit of a rough use of the overclock for a second there, but managed to get out of that situation with a couple of kills. That's going to reset the situation and leave just 20% left on the board before the Clappers are going to take this first point.
Yeah, indeed. And so here, Roos coming in with the rush, and that's going to be able to just rush them straight into point. Shiny Umbreon pulling out the ult as well. And well as Kirith, this is 3 ults now used for AC Roos and a tire. That's 4 ults. Let's see if that's going to actually get the fight win. That's a lot of commitment. And here, they're only 3v4. That is incredible that Bybyb Clappers can actually just hold their own against those 4 ults coming in. They did a good job at kiting. And here, it's just kind of unfolding now. A little bit scrappy, but it looks like, wow, Clappers are able to just hold their own throughout the entire theme to resist that many ults all at once. Crazy stuff.
Platty and Shiny Umbreon just barely trying to keep this thing alive, but they are not going to make it for a long time. It was a scrappy fight. Lots of picks going either way, but eventually, in that scrap situation, Clappers come out on top, and they take the first round off of AC Roos.
Yeah, wow. That's crazy. I just can't believe they used 4 ults and then didn't win the fight. That's a little blowing my mind right now, honestly.
Urith just wasn't able to get any mileage out of that overclock on the Sojourn, right? Did
Yeah.
I think maybe pick up 1 kill, but by the time that had happened, a couple picks had already been taken off the board. And once again, this is Clapper's 6th seed going up against the 1st seed, right? They come out on top in that first fight. In that first round. We'll see how AC Roos respond here. They come out on the Pharah Mercy. JoJo is going to be left up to to duty on that end. But immediately, Clappers take the point here. It does get a big early pick, though. And without the Mercy, they're not going to be able to res that.
Yeah, definitely. Not being able to res that is a huge deal. Although I think it's also smart. Pause
Pause here.
Pause. Oh, there we go. not sure why we're pausing. Victory's
Another
asking for a pause.
Yeah,
I'm
coming
not
out
sure.
from
Maybe something's
Victory.
happened to Victory's computer here, so I'm not sure what's going on. But this obviously gives us. I am mid rollout. Oh my god. That is true. They were supposed to wait for the fight to end, but I'm not really sure why. Yeah, that is true.
What's the purpose of the pause is
Yeah,
what I want to know.
why are we pausing? I want to figure that out. That's weird. I'm not really sure why we're pausing right now. Another tech issue. Well, they haven't disconnected at least. All right, yeah. So we'll keep the pauses to mid-fight or to between fights from now on. Sorry about that. Okay. My PK match says ready. Okay. Getting back into it.
At it. Hopefully that will be the final pause of the match. We'll see.
Oh yeah, let's kind of hope on that one. We do see, I think it's pretty smart for Clappers to be playing sort of in the backside of point here, to make use of all their turrets and their defensive heroes, except that it does look like the spam and all the open angles from AC Roos was a little bit too much to handle there, and so they weren't able to entirely stay up. As we see Clappers now regrouping, still waiting for one more to respond.
We do have Swinky Sloth swapping over to the Cassidy here. Gonna get a little extra pressure on that Pharmacy combo and keep them out of the air for the most part. And that's gonna be a little bit difficult. We'll see if Kirith ends up swapping. Kirith does have a pretty cracked Pharah. We'll see if this ends up forcing them to swap. We see already Kirith having to take some low angles to avoid any damage from these hit scans.
Okay, definitely looking for a barrage, though. I think as soon as they walk in, we're going to see a barrage straight over the top of their head. And here, great angle from Kirith, really just forcing Ramattra to just go out of there. You can't just stick around when Pharah is on top of your head right to the choke point, just bearing damage on top of your head.
Look at that, just pouring damage through that doorway there, too. Getting damage onto the tank, onto the supports, just anyone who's in that site is taking so much. We do see Ramattra pulling Pharah down to the floor, but only for a brief moment. They're not able to capitalize. Now we see the push in. The barrage comes out. Ramattra just able to survive so much.
Wow.
Platy does end up getting a kill onto the Kiriko, and out comes the annihilation for Ramattra, from both Ramattras, trying to turn things around, but Platy with a huge tire gonna put an end to that annihilation, and it's just JoJo on point.
Wow. That was a huge annihilation, but unfortunately it just like has to run straight into a tire there. Wasn't quite ready for that. AC Roos just with incredible defense. Their spam is just such a mountain to overcome here, as you see Swanky actually gets a little bit of direct there on Kirith, forcing Kirith to drop down, kind of make some space for the team a little bit. See if they can get any more directs here between these two Pharahs. Not sure if they are actually trying. Looks like Swanky definitely trying to get a direct on that Pharah. Really wants that crown, the Pharah crown, you know what I mean?
Hey, if you can't beat him, join him. Swinky has a little bit of trouble trying to get through that window. Don't worry about that. We see the team coming in from the opposite direction. Oh, big scatter fight right here. Swinky Sloth does end up getting the first pick onto Platy, but the trap ends up killing Squashy in response. It's even picks. Kirith ends up getting another pick. Both supports are down, and this is going to be so hard for Clappers at this point. Ramattra, pretty much the last one left up. The Pharah's going to be able to squeeze in here for just a second, but it's not going to be much time at all. Lucio comes onto the point to stall for just a little bit longer. See if maybe they can get something together here. That's going to wind things down. AC Roos taking the second point, and that Pharah was a problem for Clappers.
Yeah, that was definitely an issue for them, and I think it largely comes down to just, you know, you put Kirith onto that Pharah, give him the pocket, and then start raining hell on point, and it's a lot. That's hard to deal with, no matter who you are. I mean, Kirith is insane on the Pharah, especially on that map with all those angles that they can play with. It's it's a tough one to play against. So I mean, I don't, I don't hold anything against Clappers for having trouble with that. But yeah, that's definitely going to be a challenge there. On this one, I think it's going to be still, we're going to see some Pharahs, but a Sim could go a long way if they can get there really fast. So we'll see if Clappers can get there quickly here.
I'm interested too. We see Swanky Sloth and Jojo the Boss both running two characters that aren't going to be able to contest this far super well, right? We've got the Junkrat, we've got the Symmetra, but of course with those turrets, it's going to put a little bit of extra pressure on the Pharah in those big windows. She's not going to be able to approach that way.
Ooh.
A big boop onto Platy, and PK Master, he falls off the map.
That's crazy. And like here, yeah, if you're AC Roos in this point, I mean, you can try to spam with the pharmacy, but really outside of that, you're not trying to do anything crazy. And Clappers, I don't think you're trying anything crazy too. I mean, you've got your turret set up on point. You're going to be playing defensive. It's just going to be defensive on point. And here, you see AC Roos kind of gathered back together here. They don't really need to just rush in. Yes, this is exactly what they need. They need a pick from the Pharah on the sideline, and then they can walk in. And Kirith now picking up a second kill. This is huge for Kirith. Again, insurmountable mountain that is Kirith just destroys everyone in their path. That was huge. PK Master coming with the muscles, kills another couple, and that's going to pretty much lay waste to Bybyb Clappers there on point, although they were able to get 23% before dying.
Yeah, you just look at that. Kirith takes a huge flank angle, and while they're having to fight the four-man squad of AC Roos up front at the choke, they're getting spammed on by these Pharah, by this Pharah at weird off angles, right? And because Pharah doesn't need the farm Mercy because there's nothing to contest her, Mercy can stay with the rest of the team and keep them up while Kirith just pumps in free damage. Now, Clappers run in. They do have Jojo now on the Sojourn. They all rush right in, but Kirith picking off the whole squad. They're grouped up together, clumped up. We see the 1v1 Kirith takes out Swinky Sloth as well. Squashy does manage to get a pick onto Platy, but it's just the supports, and they're going to have to get out of there.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get out as quick as possible here, and if they are able to, and now you're talking about two pretty resistant supports that they are able to get themselves out of some pretty slippery situations, and so they're able to get out. Not gonna die there. It's still gonna be point in favor of AC Roos, 53% on the clock, as you see a huge rotation.
That's a
Oh
big
my
pick.
God, Swanky on the Junkrat.
They gotta ensure that there's no res coming out, and it looks like with Shiny Umbreon retreating back to point, Kirith is gonna be out of this fight. It's a 5-on-3 now as they take on the rest of the AC Roos. Shiny Umbreon does get a res onto Platy, but it might just be a res in the hell. And look, the visor comes out too from Platy. Oh, you did not want that if you're the AC Roos. That's a crucial ult loss.
That's huge. Yeah, definitely did not want to res for that ult. That was an interesting res to say the least. Yeah, he was gonna switch. Okay, so he was gonna switch anyway. I guess it doesn't really matter. Platy on over the Junkrat. Maybe it was one of those switches where it's like, yeah, I definitely was just gonna switch anyway. No, for sure. And then just swap over. We don't know. We'll never know. But
benefit the doubt.
The benefit of the doubt, perhaps. You see the rush come in. Rush is a little bit behind there in space, but it is going to let him take a little bit into the garden. However, if you look at the kill feed, and Swanky Sloth and Super Sulu doing a great job at just cleaning up.
It just doesn't matter how much that Annihilation can turn a fight if you get killed so quickly in it. Of course, Ramattra able to tank so much damage. We've seen it before, but with the amount of damage that was being outpoured by Clappers right there, just gets killed immediately out of that. Now you're just working with one ultimate here at your AC Roos. Here comes the tire. Is it going to pick anything? It's got some tricky movement right there, looking for the backline, but PK Master does manage to take it out.
The guy Chaotic is in.
There's a trade right there too. The barrage comes out, does get Jojo. Shiny Umbreon definitely looking for the res, but with the Junkrat right there. What a big javelin right there from PK Master across the map, taking out Swanky Sloth. That was insane.
Wow. I dream to get something like that. That is incredible. You see Jojo the Boss pulling out the overclock, seeing what they can find here. And this, if they can pull this off, this is pretty much it for Bybyb Clappers. They can win this right here. Find an insane flick onto Kirith. That was actually insane. You see still though, CPK Master is alive, on point, alive and well. Just doing everything in the Mercy ult. Just keeping everyone alive. Shiny Umbreon picks up Kirith. And this is looking like AC Roos probably win this fight. So they are going to be able to get this back. And it looks like Bybyb is going to have to retreat.
The support there is just so good. AC uses both of their DPS, but they're able to keep alive and keep PK Master alive the whole time. And even though you've got the pick advantage there, it's just an unkillable Orisa. And the healer's doing such a great job of sustaining in the meantime. Now Clappers try to come in. Terra Surge coming out with the tire too. Both of those together are going to combine and get huge, huge picks. That's going to do it immediately. A team fight, or a team kill coming out the way of AC Roos to finish off round 1.
Wow. I think the combination of Terra Surge and Junkrat Tire might be a war crime.
So it's terrifying. Oh my god.
That's crazy.
Perfectly executed by them right there. And that, look at this Kira play of the game too. It's just spamming.
God, I could climb so easily if this is my aim. If I could aim like this, oh dude.
Must be
I could
nice.
climb so much better.
Must be nice.
Dude, must be.
Hey, Clappers come out, they take that first round, but AC Roos turn it around. It was a very close match 3, or a very close round 3. But Roos do come out on top, and that's a great way to start this set off. I'm very excited to see how this progresses.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So I need to see what next map does the Clappers want here. They're gonna have to choose. I think it's they're gonna have to choose hybrid map. It could be Kings Row. It could be Midtown or Parisio. So we're gonna see.
I'm interested. Kings Row has tended to be the popular pick here. It's Kings Row. Teams love Kings Row. It's just a fun map. It's just a great map. And I think with Clappers really favoring that Reinhardt too, I think it might be a good pick for them. Of course, PK Master was running the Orisa here. I do think Orisa is really strong against Rein, but on a map like Kings Row, which favors Reinhardt so heavily, maybe they can swing things back by taking advantage of that and hopefully getting a 1-1 situation for them to kind of reassess. Although the pick does come out, and it looks like they are going Midtown.
Looks like it. And Cajun is lobby owner, so he will have to switch that. While they're picking that, we do get a chance here to talk a little bit more about Bybyb. So
yes, I was
anyway, yeah, for sure. So most people might think that Bybyb is about, just having Brig enable your dive. No. That's not anything what it's about, okay? It's about Brig solo diving the enemy team with all the resources. Super, super important that that's the way it goes down.
I like it.
So like
I like it.
Zarya, for example, right? You could bubble your Brig into the enemy backline. And what this takes is a lot of sneak. So if you think about Skyrim, you have sneak 100 and you have to get Brig into either the enemy backline or like above them on the high ground so that she can like shield bash into the backline from the high ground,
Okay.
Do like an eagle strike. It's really important that you set up the caca from the high ground there. Super duper important. If you stay caca, you do 50% more damage. That's the stat that's on the wiki. And it's pretty strong.
That is the 2018 Overwatch strat if I have ever heard it. Just give Brigitte all of your resources. You know what? It's not the worst strategy now, and it definitely wouldn't have been back then. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
I like it. I'll have to discuss this with plans. We'll see who our best Brig player is.
We start the predictions there. Make sure that gets up in there in the chat. So make sure you fill in your predictions again.
So Midtown is an interesting map pick too, because if I remember correctly, in AC Roos' previous match against Aimless, they went to this map, and I believe AC Roos got full held here. Unless they full held Aimless here? I don't recall. I think AC Roos picked Midtown, and they were the ones that got full held.
I believe you are correct. Yeah. Aimless was the one who decided that they wanted to defend first so that their attack could be quick. Yeah. And in Aimless Esports' defense was master class. Like, that's when you can go back and study. Like, was so good. Good stuff from them. They were able to full hold on point 1.
Perhaps that is why we see this pick coming out from Clappers. Maybe they spotted a weakness in AC Roos' game plan and they want to exploit that. We'll see. Right off the bat, Swanky Slaw taking the 1v1 against Kirith in an unresable position too, unless Shiny Umbreon can somehow get up there. And with the Pharah and the Mercy up there, I mean, that is a huge loss for the AC Roos right off the bat. They charged onto point. Swanky with another big hit onto Platty. The res does get protected, but now both supports out of the fight. It's only a matter of time before this point goes the way of Clappers.
Yeah, the amount of momentum that one singular kill gets, and it's not, and don't underestimate, like, that is more than just getting a direct. Like, that's a direct plus follow-up there from Swanky. It's huge. Like, you cannot ask any more from your Pharah than getting that massive of an opening pick, giving you all the momentum to get all the way to this point in the game. Although, huge counter pick here from Platty to just shoot the enemy Pharah straight out of the sky. So AC Roos is going to stabilize this position with absolutely no problems. They're going to be able to stabilize on the high ground here, and until Swanky actually gets back, which Swanky is swapping now onto the Cassidy, then they're not going to really be able to make a huge push here. And we also see PK Master on the Zarya.
The counter pick war right here is so interesting. You see the Pharah coming out the way of AC Roos is a problem, and they say, you know what, we can do it better. And Clappers, they did. We see the full swap coming out from AC Roos in its hand just to deal with Swanky on that Pharah, and now we're back to a somewhat normal competition, although PK Master on the Zarya. An interesting pick here.
Definitely an interesting pick. This Bob absolutely going to do work here. PK Master is in jet engine mode with 200 trillion energy, just walking anywhere he wants, throwing any laser he wants anywhere. Like, they can't do anything about high energy Zarya just rushing into their face, especially with losses on the board. So that's what we're looking at here. PK Master might have wasted a bubble there, right there in the end, down to just one bubble at the moment. This potential opportunity here for a play to be made. PK Master going for some interesting jump up here. Not quite able to get it. I don't know if that's even possible. We see an interesting rotation here from Clappers coming around. We see a high noon from top. This is really risky. But yeah, they're not able to find anything. And the overclock comes out.
Deadeye does come out. All it does is serve to... Oh, but PK Master pushes a little too far in, does not have the healing they need, and gets picked off there. JoJo with another pick onto Kirith too, and AC Roos are in full retreat now. Yeah, PK Master was trying... I was going to say the Deadeye does nothing but boost the bubble of PK Master there.
Yeah.
But PK Master just maybe gets a little overconfident there, where sometimes when you're playing Zarya, you know, you've got 90 energy, you're just like, I am unkillable. But if you go around the corner and your supports can't see you, that's a big thing.
That's definitely a different thing. Here, I mean, this is pretty interesting, the little spam play we see from Clappers, just wanting to play for a long fight, shooting at range here, although I think this long fight actually does favor the Roos, because eventually they do build energy, and eventually I think they can just walk to the high ground, although I'm not sure if I can actually take advantage of that. Okay, here they're just kind of building into the rush, and it's countered by an insane grab, just not even allowing them to come off the high ground and rush into their team. And here, Roos kind of controls the space. They've got the pick they need. PK Master has the point unlocked. I don't think it's a play that Clappers can make. They're just kind of chilling up top and dying slowly. This is definitely not favorable for the Clappers.
It's such great work for the Clappers to use as much as they can to survive that graviton, but all of these resources get used, and slowly but surely we see how that's benefited the AC Roos. They're able to pour so much into this fight, and eventually Clappers are just going to run out, right? We have the healers up. That's going to be Kiriko getting picked off, and for sure the retreat coming out for Clappers. Just over time, as the fight kept going on, just everything got used on the side of Clappers. They had to win straight up at a disadvantage, and that was going to be too difficult.
Yeah. It's going to be pretty tough for them. Here, 2 minutes left on the clock, though, for this push. I mean, it's just got to reorient your mind and walk back in here. They're not too far behind an ult advantage when you really take a good look at it. I mean, they got a couple of 70%, almost an 80% there on the Clapper side. So, you know, action's coming. It's just a matter of getting there. Although Kirith getting that pick on Swanky is going to be a really big deal, because Swanky is not going to be able to get back to this fight quickly or through safe sight lines. Here, the Terra Surge comes down, does find a bunch, but not actually kills, just kind of some damage. Might have baited out resources, but without being a full team, there's no play that can actually be made, so they don't really have the resource advantage they need to make a real push. It really is just kind of stabilizing to see Swanky finally making it back in the fight.
Oh, and this is going to be a big visor here. Both the rush and the visor is going. Oh my gosh, they almost cap it as they rotate to point. And they're booping everyone off right now, but Roos are not going to allow that to happen. We see what happens there at the beginning of that fight. Swanky gets picked, and instead of backing out, they decide to just go full in, take the high ground, and hopefully get a pick in the process. The pick doesn't ever come in, but what does happen is the visor and the rush do get used on the side of AC Roos, so you get something out of that rather than just a full retreat. But now there's only 40 seconds left on the clock, and they've got to push in with the Roos having high ground.
True, though they do have 2 DPS ults and a rush here. So, I mean, they've got insanely good tools. I would be super surprised if they don't win this fight. Like, this fight gotta be in their favor. All they have to do is beat this Bob, and that's kind of really it, unless PK can just generate an insanely fast grab here. 85%. This could change things. Here comes the High Noon. High Noon comes down. It's going to find anything. It does find Platy. They still can commit more ults if they want to here. The grab comes down. Does find Swanky. Swanky's going to go down. Where's the overclock from JoJo? Never used it. Yeah, and that's going to be an insane cleanup.
Was trying to get to high ground, jumps onto the point just long enough to contest, but doesn't even pop it here at the end. And the AC Roos are going to hold right there.
Wow. Insane gameplay.
Fight. An interesting fight, to say the least. I was definitely expecting to see it. It doesn't end up coming out. They do have even picks there for a while. The Deadeye does manage to even things up on the side of the Clappers. But they just didn't have enough going there. We see the Grav able to take out Swanky Sloth from PK Master. And slowly but surely, AC Roos just ended up taking that thing.
Yeah, and I just, you know, like, that was some awesome Zarya play. Just like holding some really good space and also keeping the pressure even at range, even like outside of that beam range with those nice right clicks. It's like, it's kind of just keeping Clappers in check. And Clappers, I think, had a tough time like really making a play into that space because the Zarya was just always so present and so scary. And then even if that wasn't scaring you, at least, you know, Kirith on that Ashe clicks those heads like crazy, and it's like, what sightline can you take? Can you find the duels you need to take and actually like beat Kirith in a duel? That's tough. So yeah, it's kind of just a tough push for them. What we really want to see here is you know, Bybyb picked Midtown. Now, are they going to be able to emulate the defense that Aimless put in? I don't remember the comp that Aimless played. I just remember they had Pharmacy, so we'll see.
We do see Swanky Sloth coming out onto that Pharah here, but he's going to be running into a Soldier and an Ashe, which is going to be obviously super, super difficult to contest. You see the damage already getting spilled right out as Kirith kind of drops pretty low for a second. The healing is good on the side of the AC Roos. They're going to make their way through the subway now. Have they learned from that map against Aimless? Are they going to be able to bust through this defense? Kirith with a good first pick onto Swanky Sloth. And that's going to open things up. Unless Squashy can get the res, it may be a little too difficult at the moment.
Probably a little bit too difficult. This opening pick has always been like so strong. Here, they waited for the res. Now they get the res. It's 5v4. They got to make a play right now. No ults yet on the table, but they're making a massive play into the Mega Room. Finds 2 picks here. Zarya just going completely unchecked, just mowing the enemy team down. PK Master, absolutely insane on this Zarya.
Platy takes a really, really good off angle there, just dumping so much damage into the team while the rest of them are trying to fight straight up on the point. That's something I've noticed a couple times from AC Roos. They're really, really good at taking these off angles that are just so frustrating for other teams to deal with.
I think you're right about that, and I think the reason they were able to take through Train was because they did actually push someone on an off angle to create space for it, and that's really smart because the Train sucks, but if you can actually walk through the Train safely because of your angles, it's actually not that bad. It's actually pretty good. It's a pretty good route straight to the important high ground. Here we see PK Master kind of like just Zarya jumping to high ground up here as though they're a flying character, kind of inspiring. here on the Zarya character.
I mean, PK Master just takes the higher ground, right? If that's the war you want to wage, then this is what you're going to have to contend with. Look, PK Master goes in, self-bubble on bubbles, has the Mercy with him, charges in, Bob comes in too. Bob maybe going to get the kill on Squashy here, and Soldier kind of rezzed into a scary situation. He's got PK Master right in his face, and look, the beam just coming out. I mean, so much damage right now on Zarya.
Zarya is just doing so much work for AC Roos. I mean, this is like, this is truly inspiring stuff. This makes me want to go and play some Zarya for myself. Here, PK Master has the grab, can really just grab this right here. That's so strong, with both with the bubbles as well. Finds Swanky, and here, Platty's gonna just clean this up with a huge visor. Never mind, just actually, Platty goes down, although I think this is still clean-upable for AC Roos. I mean, this is last fight territory. The golden mark is right there. Looks like it's gonna be almost a C9. Swanky just holding on for dear life is gonna maybe C9 it.
Really good right now.
Wow, no way he's still alive. Wait a minute.
Of damage.
No way, wait a minute.
Clappers are getting back here. Oh my god. Here's the pick onto JoJo. They needed that really, really bad. But here it's now a 5-on-4. Suddenly, that hold from Swanky was just so good, playing those angles where he just couldn't get shot. The res coming in on Swanky, so it stays a 5-on-4, and a big pick on a Platty. It's an even fight somehow, some way. This was looking totally wrapped for AC Roos, but it may be a little bit more difficult now for PK Master. As he's done all match long, he's putting so much pressure onto the supports, onto every character, onto the Sigma, who can't who can't grasp and absorb all that damage. Here is a big pick onto the Sigma as well, and now it's just the 2 DPS. It does look like they're gonna pull this out. And that is a sweaty end to game 2.
That was insane. And part of that was, you know, Kirith on top of that high ground. They had to contest point, and they couldn't really contest Kirith on the high ground. She just has free reign to shoot anything she wants, and there's really no resources for Clappers to be able to actually contest her on that high ground. So really well played there. That was one of the craziest holds I've ever seen, one of the craziest resistances to Sir Charles IX from seizing the day. So wow.
That was a crazy PK Master. Really, I mean, like Kirith played really, really great. The whole team played super, super great in that match, AC Roos. But PK Master, to me, just absolutely stood out on the Zarya there. Such high charge at the end, just pushing and pushing onto the team. And Sigma, you know, what is Sigma really going to be able to do to protect the team? You've got that shield, that stationary shield, but isn't able to protect the supports when needed, and PK Master just charges in and 2 fights in a row just really, really nails it and brings home that second match win for the AC Roos.
Yeah, I can't help but think of like perhaps maybe a monkey swap would have been really good there. To play against the Zarya and all that.
I think that's going to have to be the question going into right now.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'm very interested in hearing what their solution to this is.
Yeah, I am too. And here, okay, we are seeing the swap over to Dorado, and so Cajun's going to switch that over to Dorado here in just a second. And yeah, I think Dorado's the play. I mean, Dorado's always the pick you make when you want to start the reverse sweep, as we have seen. So this is the reverse sweep starter, as we saw in the past, and I think this is also a great monkey map, not a great Zarya map. So we'll see if they want to try some Zarya nonsense again. Then it's going to come at a cost. And I think that's a good map pick there for Bybyb Clappers.
I think it's a brilliant map pick. I think you're totally right. Like, Dorado is a really difficult map for Zarya. There's so much high ground, right? There's so much, so many really easy access areas for a dive character like a Winston or a Ball. I think it's also really good for Sigma too. So I think that's the perfect swap, the perfect map pick for this kind of situation. Once again, really keen awareness by clappers. They know what they're doing. So it's always the commentator thing to be like, I really think they can turn it around, right?
Oh, of course, yeah.
But I genuinely do think, I mean, these matches have been close, right?
They have.
Map 2, you know, obviously AC Roos are able to run away with it. You can say that clappers kind of had a couple misplays that led to that, but I think those can be cleaned up super easy.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. This is definitely going to be super interesting. We get some people, they're all readied up. We're gonna get this prediction going again. Who will win? Not many people predicted me last time, so people aren't really predicting us winning anymore. That's fine.
Wow, guys.
I know. I do feel the hate coming in. It's okay. It's okay. I forgive you. For the time.
Your silence is loud, chat.
Yeah.
Your silence is very loud. Saber says it's fine. We're losing, so we can get the reverse sweep.
It's the strategy all along. You heard it here first. I mean, they purposefully lost the first 2 games so that they can set up the reverse sweep. Very important.
Clappers are here for the drama. I love that.
I love it.
How many, Aspen, do you know offhand how many reverse sweeps we've had this tournament?
I want to say I know it's been at least one, obviously, because we saw the hard stuck for KFC. And then I don't know. I want to say there was one more, but it wasn't featured. It was just I remember seeing it like on the match results.
Hasn't been a very common occurrence so far.
Yeah.
But clappers, they came out with their strategy, and they're gonna stick to it. We do see Chaotic here on the Winston too.
5, 4.
We see the Sigma on defense here, and this is not uncommon. We do see Sigma on defense here every now and then. Good at holding the high ground, not good at taking back the high ground if they get booped off, so that's always a big risk. Although, we look at Chaotic on the Monkey, and I think that's a solid play here. Monkey coming out is exactly what I expected from the Bybyb clappers to make this happen for them.
Can I also say the Genji coming out from JoJo? Ooh. Not a super common pick nowadays, and you love to see it when he's around.
You
just
do.
Slowly pushing the cart right now. He's on cart duty for the time being.
Yeah, for the time being. And what's crazy here is this fight has evolved so much, and we haven't even seen like anyone actually make a play yet. It's just a little bit of poke, a little bit of positional rotation here and there. And here's the first play as we see Monkey diving really deep, finding a couple of picks alongside Jojo DeBoss. Really huge dives coming in from Bybyb clappers to just kind of clutch this first fight up. Playing it really well. Lots of methodical play, not trying to dive too soon. And notice how, like, Monkey never even dived that first high ground up there on the initial perch. Didn't have to. Like, if they're going to spam and play a full spam Sigma comp, then who's going to drop and touch? Nobody. They realize that fact. And they just walk the cart with Genji all the way through the bridge.
God, get the cart. They
no one's pushing.
Haven't actually capped point. They got.
Oh my god.
Get that first. Oh my god. There we go.
Oh my god.
Okay, point has finally been capped. Aside from that, oh my god, what an amazing first push. Kirith does come out with the pick onto Swanky Slop. I think it's on the bridge too. So that's I actually picked it. Perhaps it's not.
Yeah.
What an amazing first point coming the way of Clappers to get the character swaps that we wanted to see out of them. And immediately, the target focus is so good when Chaotic dives in with the follow-up, and the support is so good. Here comes Barrage coming from Swanky Slop. He takes out both of the DPS and immediately gets rezzed too. PK Master does get a pick onto the Mercy here, but this is looking pretty good if you're Clappers at the moment.
Looking pretty good, although kind of Super Sulo needs to maybe definitely not die there. At this point, we are still kind of in, I think, a stabilization phase here if you're Bybyb clappers, because there's a lot of like people, see here, a lot of just kind of like people in weird positions, a little bit low health, kind of risky, and there's like consequences to this. And here AC Roos kind of capitalizing on their position and resources at the moment and able to just force all of Bybyb clappers back straight towards their spawn. Big dynamite. That's actually huge from Kirith. It's huge. You know, Kirith right on top of this perch plays really close to the edge. You know why? It's very smart. It just means that enemy monkey can't jump up top. Now here, just eating my words, Kirith just goes all the way back to the back. But like Kirith coach gunning every single jump has been pretty strong. So we're gonna see if that continues as we move forward.
I mean, you see here, Dorado, this is where Dorado is really, really difficult on this point specifically. I mean, AC Roos don't even really need to poke their heads over all that much. They do get a pick on the Slinky slot, but just your presence on that high ground makes it so difficult. Bob ends up getting a kill on Slinky slot again. Jojo comes in with a big dash onto Platty, though, removing that visor from the fight.
Completely removing. And here, on top, now we just have Kirith on the high ground, which has to be contested at some point. We get a coach gun from Kirith to try to counter the monkey. Doesn't push him off, but they are able to actually get the kill on the monkey. And that's really going to cease any sort of real push from the Clappers here. I mean, Clappers are all just like retreating, looking for health packs, trying to not die. But here, unfortunately, Jojo's going to get staggered. No way he doesn't die here. Yeah, he dies.
Man.
Okay. Yeah.
That's rough. You don't see the Genji get staggered very often, but against a Winston there, like, what are you supposed to do?
Just deflect the Tesla cannon is what I'd say. Pretty easy.
There you go.
Yeah, pretty easy. Yeah. Some huge ult advantage for Bybyb right now.
Oh, look, Chaotic goes in, doesn't have too much support with him, but he's got the bubble, which is going to keep him alive. At this point, it's really, really difficult because you've got all of AC Roos on that high ground. Once again, they don't really have to poke all that much. Chaotic goes in. He does have his Kirito with him, and they do manage to actually force AC Roos off of that high ground, but Kirith backs up, gets a big pick onto Jojo the boss.
That's huge. And right now, AC Roos, I think, holding as much as they can. Not gonna find. Whoa, okay, whoa. Not finding anything out of that barrage is a huge win here for AC Roos. They are actually going to be able to hold down the fort as they are. They do have 5 people. It's 5v2 at the moment, so they're going to clean that up. Excellently defended, and also great reaction time to Swanky's barrage.
Shiny Umbreon getting the kill on the Glock, which I'm sure she's very excited about right now. Been looking for a play like that, so. Now we see Chaotic stays on the Winston. At this point, I wonder if you consider swapping maybe to a Diva, right? Just to be able to get a little bit of contest onto that Reaper, you know, good for the Winston, good for the Ashe, but staying with the Winston here, how are they going to take this high ground or play around this high ground from the AC Roos? Because it's been a problem so far.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure, but I do understand that, you know, of course you're going to suggest that we bring in Diva because you're obviously the 250-hour Diva man.
Hey, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
What do I mean? Yeah. I'm just not surprised. We see PK Master come with the Primal, doing some fun monkey stuff, jumps around a little bit, and once you know it, Platty just kills everyone.
Look at that too. What a Primal coming out from PK Master, pushing the Winston actually into their backline and towards their Reaper. That was kind of cool. And then of course Reaper with a nice ult there, taking out the rest of the fight. And once again, kind of the same composition here from Clappers. It hasn't worked so far. With 20 seconds left on the clock, they're going to need something really, really crazy, working with only one ultimate here to turn this around.
Just one ult. Although I love these plays from Bybyb to like teleport the Kiriko to the top so they can rush from the top, and it's been doing really well for them to like take the space. However, the counter play has been insane from AC Roos. They see it coming. Here comes, like, they've got this counter rush on the bottom, and they're able to not die to such a, what I think is like a really strong play. The defense from AC Roos just kind of unstoppable right now.
The Reaper just so strong on the side of the AC Roos. It's so difficult for Winston to have to contest that. We do see the ball swap going to be spinning to win the classic plat gold strategy. You love to see it represented here today. It's probably going to get just a little bit more time on the clock, a little bit more stall, but not gonna do that.
Wow. So we see the cart get stalled there pretty often. Not new to anyone who's a veteran of Overwatch. It's a pretty common place to get stalled out on. Just because the high grounds there, pretty tough to beat. I mean, you really got to find some nice angles to zone people out before you make your play. And yeah, I think it's also, I mean, I can't just say that. I will say it's pretty well defended by AC Roos. I mean, they definitely have a lot of practice defending that point in that way, and it shows.
Yeah, it was pretty much expertly done from AC Roos. They played that exactly the way you should. The Reaper swap is just so strong. Just horrible, just tough for the Winston to break through there. So now I have to wonder, what tank do you run here if you're Clappers, right? We see them coming out onto Winston. You're gonna have, this first point is going to be huge. You have to have a huge first point here if you're going to win this match.
I agree.
So Winston, that maybe that durability from Winston may end up being a problem. We see Patty still on Reaper. You don't want to have to die and swap here if you're Clappers.
Yeah, this is definitely a big risk, and I think that playing the monkey here on defense means that you're going to be doing this thing where you like drop off the high ground and you come back up top. There's not a lot of room for error, right? And you're playing with not with an Ana, but with a Kiriko, and so it's going to be kind of like tough to stay alive for Chaotic, I imagine.
Just spamming at each other on this high ground here. Kirith with another huge first pick onto that Kiriko, and one of the supports has been removed immediately. Winston gets knocked onto the low ground, and he's just, it's such a bad way if you're Winston right now. Yeah.
Kirith just popped off and killed 4, so, you know, love to see that. Yeah, Kirith literally just killed the whole team, basically. Yeah, sometimes Kirith does that, and this is, again, one of the concerns I had there. Starting with Monkey Kiriko, kind of tough to keep the Monkey alive if Monkey tries to do anything against the enemy team in that scenario, so yeah.
It looks like they do move in, and they just force their way onto the point. We do see the Ramatra swap, but it doesn't last very long as Kirith just shreds Chaotic. Gets another pick on the Swanky Sloth. Why not? The Clappers are going to have to back up and take the high ground here, but look at Platty. Platty immediately, Platty and PK Master just go ahead and assert themselves on the high ground, and now this is really bad if you're Clappers. You're going to have to win on the high ground to even start to hold this point.
Yeah, and a Mercy pocketed Kirith is no joke. I mean, like, taking this high ground is not as easy, you know, it's easier said than done. Here, they haven't even taken yet. The rotation's kind of just now starting. They're going to start getting up here, and here they'll be able to momentarily contest this Ashe.
All the while, the point is just getting pushed and pushed. Ramatra gets knocked onto the low ground by the Winston. Winston follows down for Jojo the Boss, and he gets taken out of the fight. The Bob also takes out Squashy, and just like this, Clappers are on their last legs in losers bracket. Swanky Sloth does manage to get a huge pick onto the Winston here. Could that be what turns the fight in their favor and keeps their tournament hopes alive?
Oh my god. Yeah, so the res here on PK Master is huge because, you know, right now Bybbyb's tournament life is on the line here. We have Annihilation coming from Chaotic. This is a last-ditch effort. It really needs to find literally everything in the world. It does not, unfortunately. It's all on Squashy. Can Squashy stay alive? Can they touch? No, can't touch the card here. Now who is it on? Well, nobody, because I don't think anybody can touch, and unfortunately that is going to be a goodbye to Bybyb Clappers and a congratulations to AC Roos for winning this match and moving on in the playoffs. Wow.
Are moving on, and I believe they'll be fighting Heaven Fan Club.
I cannot wait for that one.
As well. That's going to be a huge match. That's going to be really, really
That's going to be so big.
Clappers had a good run, and they had a good showing here today, but it just wasn't enough for AC Roos, who really pop off on these last two maps. Played really strong. Clappers showed some really good adaptation, some really good mindfulness, but in the end, when you're going up against Roos, I mean, Kirith just over and over again popping off. PK Master playing expertly on tank the whole time. Just ends up being a little too much today, and Roos are going to head on in our tournament.
Definitely gonna head on that. What a crazy match too, and this is like, I think showing just like how much practice like AC Roos has really put into the past couple of weeks here. I mean, really like honing in their skills, even though they're playing on like a slightly compromised roster from what they were in the beginning. They're still able to put out really good quality content, like really actually doing an incredible job. All right, so it looks like Kirith wants to do a post-match interview, and I think that would be appropriate. So are you ready to pull Kirith in here?
Oh, I'm ready. If you're
ready?
me.
All right.
Yeah.
Hello, Kirith. How are you?
Hello, I'm doing all right.
Yeah, wow, what a win. That was crazy going 3-0 against the Bybyb Clappers. How do you feel about that?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Pretty good. That's good. That's good. You know what this means, though. You know who you're playing next, right?
KFC?
Yeah. How you feel about that?
I'm feeling pretty confident. I think we've worked out most of our inter-team issues, and
Yeah.
we've scrimmed them before. They were good,
Okay.
but I think we're better.
Think you're better. Dang, that's big words. Did you watch actually their most recent playoffs match?
I have not yet.
You have not? Okay. Well, I do welcome AC Roos to definitely watch that match because it was very impressive. They really brought the heat. In a post match interview, actually, at the end of that game, I interviewed someone from KFC, and they were scrimming like twice a day, 4 times a week, or some crazy stuff like that. Like they are scrimming like insane with just an unreal amount of practice. Are you guys putting in like a lot of practice as well?
When we can. We're
Yeah.
we're mostly college students, so we don't have a lot
Oh,
of
gotcha.
time. So we
Yeah,
do it
but
where we
you know,
can.
anything you can. You're right, for sure, for sure. Yeah, no, that was amazing tonight. Nihilus, do you have any questions?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, Kirith, last week you have a difficult loss, your first loss of the tournament as a team. You have to bring in Shiny Umbreon, my teammate, on support today. What are the conversations that you guys had across this past week after that loss, and what are you guys' mentality in terms of turning it around for this tournament and getting a win today?
I think we, like I said before, we just really needed to figure some stuff out. The match last week was close. I think we all felt we could have performed a bit better.
Hmm.
So we're just dedicated to improving and going as far as we can.
Awesome. Well, that's great to hear. Anyone have any other questions?
I have a quick
Uh,
question here. I'll jump in.
okay.
I'll bring my camera into view here. All right, so Kirith, you started out on Lijiang Towers and it was going 1-1. What were your thoughts? What was the team comms rolling into that final map, knowing that, hey, momentum sets the pace. You got this is 0-3. This is not 0-5 or not best of five. What were your comms rolling into that? Were you make adjustments, or was the team, hey, let's play our game and win it, or were you making adjustments?
I think it was very much we're gonna play our game. We got this. I think we figured out that the FAR comp worked pretty well on the second control point. So we just rolled out with that. It was a bit dicey. I need to work on my jet management, if anything, but we pulled it through. But so yeah.
Well, that's what I like. You had that confidence on the second map. You had the pharmacy. You were really racking it out, pulling in some kills, and I like that you had that confidence to go into what technically, once a team gets onto that point, they could just turtle up and make it very, very difficult for a fair to make some inroads. So I like that confidence that you brought into that match there. But other than that, I wish you all the best of luck into the KFC match.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us in the interview, and have a good day.
You too.
All right. See ya. Wow. Okay. So what a game. And this does mean we are going to get the legendary AC Roos versus KFC match that I think that we've been waiting for this entire tournament. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that we've all been like salivating, like, "What, can we get these two teams to play against each other?" And it's just now in like the quarterfinals of the losers bracket that we actually get to see them play against each other. So that's going to be super exciting. I'm going to be very much looking forward to featuring that match.
Yeah, our number 1 and number 2 seed meeting in tournament, just not on the side of bracket that they probably wanted to be meeting. It's going to
Yeah,
be a really good match. And we hear Kirith saying, they're a good team, but we think we're better. So I'm
that's
sure those are
crazy.
words that Kevin Fan Club are going to be taking to heart
Damn fighting
and
words, you know what I mean?
thinking about going into their match, I'm sure.
Yeah, wow. So that's gonna be huge. The winner of that match between AC Roos and KFC, just want to throw this out there, is guaranteed at least third place and guaranteed prize money. So that's
Mm-hmm.
also kind of big. Remember, you're playing for prizes. You are playing for peanut butter and jelly of immortality. Make sure to just keep all that in mind. It's very important stuff. moving forward.
Yeah, and don't forget too, on winners side of bracket too, our winners finals matchup, UKN Fantasia and Aimless Esports, who during this tournament have really hit their second stride and have really popped off and hit a new level. So all around, this top four is really hype. I'm really excited
Yeah.
to see how things transpire. Gonna be fun.
Oh yeah. I'm super excited. So we'll see that in the coming days. Just keep an eye out on the events in Discord. And if anyone or if no one has anything else, I think that we're pretty much wrapping it up here.
I believe so. So, from all of us here at Looking for Gold Scrim server in our second tournament here in the spring, we wish you all a great night and tune in for our next matches. They're going to be rocking.
Man, I need those things.